You're watching Pulse for the 17th of February, and it's finally time for some StarCraft news. In this week's episode, we take a look at the start of Season 6 and the new ladder maps that came with it, a situation report for patch 1.4.3, the usual GSL updates, the Republic of Gamers Winter 2012 groups and maps, the recent MLG Winter Arena pay-per-view drama, Guilty Conscience by Tempo, Suspense and iNcontroL, and more. Let's get straight to the news. First up, as all of you actually playing StarCraft right now know, the 6th StarCraft 2 League season has finally arrived. Season 5 milestones have been awarded and bonus pools and stand-ins have been reset. The hidden skill ratings used for matchmaking and league placement have carried over from the previous season though, so players who have completed placement matches in previous seasons will only need to play one placement match to kick off the new season. Along with this, something a lot more important and I'd say a lot more interesting too. In Season 6, Blizzard have actually started giving player-created maps a chance in the ladder map pool. I think it's a great initiative and it's going to give a lot of people a lot more reason to actually start making proper maps now. I know there are tons of people out there who complain regularly about Blizzard's maps being subpar. Well, here's your chance. Make a map, submit it to the next map contest that comes around, and hope for the best. Who knows, maybe your map will pop up in the next ladder season. So 2 new maps were added in ladder season 6, but that does mean that 2 maps had to be removed. The 2 maps removed were Xel'Naga Caverns and Arid Plateau. Now I'm pretty sad to see Xel'Naga Caverns go, but I think it's about time. The new maps are Cloud Kingdom and Korhal Compound. Now these were both made by members of the ESV mapmaking team, so you know these guys are pretty good at what they do. Lastly, Blizzard just mentioned that they will continue to change the map lineup on the StarCraft 2 ladder over time, but they will maintain their focus on tournament viable maps to ensure the fiercest competition. Sounds good to me, and if you don't quite know what's going on those new maps, if you feel slightly lost, Apollo has you covered. He was actually featured on the official StarCraft 2 community site, and a couple of his videos were posted there. In said videos, he discusses absolutely everything about those 2 new maps, the expansion patterns, how viable certain build orders are on the maps, and what other dangers and opportunities there are for each race. It really is something worth checking out, especially if you're serious about your laddering. You can obviously find everything that I've spoken about in the description below this video. Now let's move on to the next piece of news. Here we have a situation report for patch 1.4.3. Blizzard have just discussed some of the most notable changes in patch 1.4.3 and shed some light on the design philosophy behind this update. There are quite a few pretty controversial changes discussed here, and I really do think it's good that Blizzard took the time to discuss them. If they just threw these changes into the game without telling people why, I think the rage would have been uncontrollable. So let's have a look at these. It seems like mules will harvest the same amount of minerals on both high yield and normal minerals. There's a long description about this one, which I'm not going to get into. I will, however, just say I think it's a good thing. Terran had a huge advantage when it came to dropping mules on gold bases, so this will probably even it out a little bit. Next, snipe damage was changed from 45 to 25 plus 25 psionic. If you want a bit of an example, it'll now take 10 casts of snipe to kill a broodlord instead of just 6. I don't think it's as big a deal as some are making it out to be, but hey, it's done and I think Terrans will definitely learn to live with it. Phoenix now has a range upgrade at the fleet beacon, and I will tell you that a lot of Zerg players are crying about this one already. That's going to make it so much more difficult to deal with Mutalisks, but you know what the counter is to that? Stop building Mutalisks at a certain amount, harass with them, and get something else to deal with mass Phoenixes. You should probably not be building Mutalisks to counter Phoenixes anyway. I'm just bringing this up specifically because I've seen the complaint come up quite a few times already over the past couple of days. You gotta keep in mind though that the fleet beacon is not something you'd build that often, but Phoenix will now have 6 range after purchasing the upgrade. Lastly, we have the APM and EPM changes. Now there was a lot of concern and debate regarding whether APM should be an accurate number or if it should be a fun playstyle distinguishing factor like it was traditionally. It doesn't really matter that much to me personally, but apparently after hearing a lot of feedback from both sides, Blizzard decided to bring back the classic APM, which will track all actions by the player. Meanwhile, EPM, effective actions per minute, will continue to track actual commands as it did prior to patch 1.4.3. That's pretty much it for the patch 1.4.3 situation report. As far as I know, the patch will be coming in the next couple of weeks, but you never know with Blizzard. If something goes wrong, it might take a little longer. You can read the full article for yourself over at the official StarCraft 2 community site or in the description below this video. Now we're going to talk about what's probably the most exciting piece of news this week, for those of you actually playing StarCraft 2 at least. free character name changes for everyone. It may not sound like a big deal, but it really is. Not everyone out there knew the significance of the nickname that they were choosing, and some people actually squandered the free change they got last time and just used it on a whim. I actually know quite a few people that put their clan tag in their nickname, and since then they've actually left that clan, but now they're stuck with that clan tag. So those guys will probably appreciate this. But Blizzard explains that with the introduction of the battle tag system, they're in the process of evaluating how they might be integrated into StarCraft 2 and how they may impact character names in the future. So instead of making everyone wait until they know how the integration could affect the name change system, they've decided to provide an additional free character name change for StarCraft 2 players eager to pick something else. I think it's a great thing, and I gotta say I really can't wait for them to actually implement the paid character name change service. I do see a lot of people using it. It's a good extra to have access to. If you'd like to change your character name, just log into account management, choose StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty there. On your game license screen there's a character name change button at the bottom that will initiate the request. After confirming that, you'll be able to log into StarCraft 2 and you'll be prompted for a new nickname. It's as simple as that, and I urge anyone that's going to use this to think long and hard before they choose a new nickname, because this is a once-off thing. Right now, at least. Now, moving on to the tournament and event news, let's have a look at what's been going on in the GSL. In the Codes, the semi-finals have been fully populated. Alive took down MMA with a score of 3-1 in the round of 8. Genius took down MC with a score of 3-0. Gummiho beat Puzzle 3-1, and lastly, Dongregu, the hero Zerg, took down Parting with a score of 3-0. That means that Alive will face off against Genius and Gummiho against Dongregu. I gotta say I like the balance of the semi-finals, and I like Dongregu's chances in this one. If you want to catch those semi-final matches live, you gotta head on over to gomtv.net on the 23rd of February. I am once again not going to be covering the Code A in its entirety because I feel that it's a bit of a waste with the amount of games actually going on there. I will have a look at it when it's a little further along. As the only real GSL extra, Team Fnatic has joined the KSL. I know that's not really GSL related, but I classify it in the same category. You can read more about that below. Now we're going to talk about MLG Winter 2012 and the Republic of Gamers StarCraft 2 tournament happening there. We were recently given a little bit more information about the tournament, like the maps and the full groups of participants. There's only one player spot open right now in Group F, and that's going to the ESV TV or Twitch TV Grand Prix 1 winner. Other than that though, from February the 24th to the 25th, we will be blessed by shoutcasters Total Biscuit, Apollo, Kaldor, and Mr. Bitter. That is indeed a stellar lineup, and I can't wait to spend as much time as possible on the stream watching these games, because as you can see on your screens right now, there are a bunch of really good players taking part here, and there's a lot of money up for grabs, which makes it that much more exciting. If you're interested in the maps that were going to be used, they were recently announced, and they are Cloud Kingdom, Daybreak, Korhal Compound, Metalopolis, Shakuras Plateau, Antigua Shipyard, and Terminus SE. Now there are obviously some ESVs, GSLs, MLGs, and other acronyms in there that I don't really need to mention. Those are the maps. You can figure the rest out for yourselves. If you want to read more about this, you can head on over to the official StarCraft 2 community site or the Team Liquid post. They both have all you need to know, and don't forget, February 24th and 25th. Be ready. Speaking of those dates though, there's actually another tournament happening on the 25th and the 26th of February, and that's PolarfluKe February 2012. There's once again a $900 prize pool up for grabs, and that extends all the way down to 8th place, so it is definitely well worth entering if you're any good at StarCraft. Remember, this will once again work with Swiss rounds on Saturday and single elimination on Sunday. There will be a fast track qualifier on the 22nd of February as well. You can read more about this below, and hopefully if you've got time you can catch both this and the Republic of Gamers tournament. Now we're going to have a quick talk about an event that you might not be watching that's actually happening on the very same weekend. There's a good reason for that. If you didn't already know, I'm talking about the upcoming MLG Winter Arena. So this is MLG's first arena event. It's going to be happening in New York City, and it's going to be pay-per-view. Priced at $20 for the entire weekend to merely watch the stream, there are many people in the community who aren't happy about it. A recent poll on Team Liquid showed that only 15% of the people that voted would actually purchase a weekend pass. Many said that they'd rather just watch Assembly that weekend and save themselves that $20. Assembly has amazing players, great casters, and a free stream, which I would say is probably the most important thing here. A few other things worth mentioning are that MLG Gold members don't get access to these arena events. They have to actually also pay to watch them. Their Gold membership only gets them access to Pro Circuit events, and these ones are separate. They're just extras. We've been told that Sundance is just testing the waters to see if pay-per-view is actually the way to go or a valid business model. There will be many benefits to paying the $20. You'll be able to watch 5 streams at once, get quick access to the bracket, schedule, live blog, chat and more, and you'll be able to instantly switch audio tracks and reposition each stream on the page. You can pretty much customize your own experience. And yes, you can also watch in 1080p, which is a pretty big deal for some people. As I said though, this did come as a bit of a shock to most people in the community, and I would say overshadowed the actual event itself. That is what you get for doing something like this though, and we can't really say if it's going to work or not, but we'll have to wait and see. So one last time to clarify, if you don't pay the $20, you won't be able to watch the event at all. You won't be able to open a stream. There's no free standard quality stream for the Winter Arena or anything like that, but they will still have the free streams for their normal Pro Circuit events. I'm not sure how many people out there would actually pay that $20 given that there's so much other free entertainment out there. Anyway, take your time, browse the links in the description below this video, and be sure to let me know what you think. Now in our only piece of community news this time around, we've got what I would call the best StarCraft 2 related song ever created. I wouldn't usually say that because that is quite a bold statement, but in this case I do mean it. I guess that's even more bold. Anyway, the guys from Underline Entertainment are back, and this time Tempo, Suspense and iNcontroL are involved. This is another parody, and this time they're going way back to 1999 for a StarCraft related spin on the infamous rap classic, Eminem and Dr. Dre's Guilty Conscience. This video has it all. The rapping is absolutely amazing and I would say spot on. Really good stuff and faithful to the original. The video was well done, and hey, even iNcontrol's debut performance in a music video was exceptional. I can't really hype this up enough. I think you should just check it out for yourselves right now, right here on YouTube, and let me know what you think about it below. I will just tell you that this is an uncensored version of the song, so there is some swearing, as you've probably noticed. The link on your screens right now will also open in a new window. With that done, let's move on to the StarCraft 2 smalls. First up, in the tournament and event smalls, read about the ESV TV or Twitch TV Grand Prix 1. The Most Evil Genius is starting on March the 4th, and I think you know which clan is involved there. You can read how Violet took the title at IEM 6 in Sao Paulo. Idra and MC have finalized the Iron Squid lineup. Read about an upcoming Random Mono Battles Pro Tournament being hosted by Total Biscuit. Now that's something I would definitely watch. Check out some GSL updates over at Day9's YouTube channel. And lastly, read about a $5,000 IPL White Raw vs Stefano show match coming up soon. In our community smalls, if you missed it or didn't watch my World of Warcraft episode at the start of this week, check out the World of Warcraft Monopoly and StarCraft Risk sets that were recently announced. StarTale has signed their first foreign female member, Miss. Team Acer has picked up Bly. Then you can check out a couple of interviews with Select, Demaga and DJ Wheat. An interesting post titled Grubby the God and his spoiled fans. The Emperor's Return. You can check out a new show of sorts titled The Autosis Hour. Have a look at CSN's mini clips. These are short, silly videos of StarCraft 2 pros in their natural habitats. Points to Shave by TLO, and lastly, yes, I put this at the end to attract more attention to it. Stefano is most likely going to assembly dressed as Jesus. That is most definitely going to be interesting. And sadly, that's all I have for you in the StarCraft news this week. Remember to check the description below this video for everything that I spoke about. Check back here soon for more, and most importantly, happy StarCrafting.